G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the west side of the map in the colour teal. Playing as the French, it's Wham01. And on the east side of the map, playing as the Chinese in the colour purple, we've got what is life without green hills? Indeed, it is a good question. What is life without green hills? The actual word that is used here is, it says, where is life without green hills? I don't know, maybe it's a saying that I'm not familiar with, but there you go. That is who we're watching right now, who we're witnessing playing, because he's going up against Wham. Wham, obviously one of the best players in the world right now. I'm looking forward to seeing how this game goes, because this is a tough matchup, and it is an especially hard map for the Chinese. The Chinese, obviously, a civilization that just likes to bunker down, hunker down, stay down low, make lots of villages, and go, go, go. But on this map, it makes it a little bit harder. I think French is actually a really good civilization on this map, just because the early knights are going to be relentless here. I've played a couple of games on Prairie, and the one thing that really gets you is just the lack of wood. The lack of green hills, I guess you could say. Well, I'm sure that there's plenty of green hills, just not on this biome. But take a look at the spawn that we've got here for our Chinese player. So he's got a nice big forest back behind him. But other than that, absolutely no wood whatsoever around him. All of it's out towards the front. Compare that over with Wham spawn. He's got the wood on the front side. And he's got trees, a few more trees, a couple of nice little pockets of trees up here. He's living life large, that's for sure. So Wham's got some good expansion spots. One of the things I've noticed with this map is when you are expanding out to wood, especially as a civ like the English, instead of sending all of your villagers out to one spot, just send like 5 out here. Just 5 out here, drop an outpost, 5 out here, 5 out here. Makes life so much easier, because you don't have to worry about moving your villagers around all the time. And yeah, that would be my recommendation to you. So anyway, we move forward, we move on. If you're interested in checking out Wham's Twitch page, I'll leave a link down in the description to where you can catch him live. He streams sometimes on Twitch, not a whole lot, to be honest. But I'll leave it down there. You can drop him a follow, watch him play live. Of course, he's one of the best players in the world. We're right on board now with our purple Chinese player. So it begins with a 2-scout opening as well. So both players going to be going with the 2-scout opening. 2-scout openings definitely fallen off in recent times, but I think on a map like Prairie, where there are more sheep, it's somewhat justified in going for that 2nd scout, especially as the Chinese. Just because not only are you getting extra sheep for yourself, but you're denying them away from your enemy. So you're forcing them to transition to farms a little bit sooner. It obviously messes with your build order though. So that's one thing to note, but I'm loving the fact that he's left the mill nice and close to the town center. A lot of people would be tempted to go and place this mill out on the berry bush, but the reality is you've got so much sheep, rather. I'm sure you probably got a lot of sheep as well. I'm reminded of a Clark and Dawes skit. You can Google it right now. Front fell off. Type in Clark and Dawes, front fell off. It's a classic. It's a classic, Australian classic. And speaking of classic Australians, if you're interested in some Patreon coaching, make sure you check it out. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment where you can find exclusive Patreon content, including your replay reviews and exclusive live coaching if you're into it. So go check it out. Well, the first of the landmarks is through. It's going to be the School of Cavalry. No real surprise there, though. To be fair, we have seen the Chamber of Commerce coming out before. Another thing we've seen are players going into the Chamber of Commerce, or rather the School of Cavalry, but then adding in trade behind. Because remember, French traders are different. They're built different, the French traders. They can switch around which resource they like. And with a big 8k gold vein in the base, there's really nothing to stop you from just going and switching your traders over to wood or food, gathering up that gold nice and safely in the base. But looks like the sheep numbers are going to be pretty even here. 15 sheep against 19 sheep. I'm pretty happy to call that one close. Pretty close. But what's going on here? Because I've just realized we've got something a little bit strange happening here. Our Chinese players gone for delayed spears. Now, this is by no means a spearman rush. These are delayed spears. And the boar is going to get pulled. Town Center going to be able to fire down upon this. And let's take a look at the TC. TC covers a little bit of this gold down in the corner. And Wham actually getting population blocked. Look at this. Those the early spears have worked. Wham, one of the best players in the world, got population blocked. Can you believe that? The last time that would have happened was a long time. Oh my god. 8 vills. 8 vills on a Barbican. Oh my lord, this is absolute madness. Boar gonna try and get pulled. It's not gonna even matter here. He's just looking to Barbican down on this position. Look at the Barbican! Oh my lord! And at the same time, the Knight's going to come through, manages to hit the Vils. You can't stop this right now. This is insane! I don't think I've ever seen this. Outpost going to be coming down Wham, trying to outpace this build. It's not going to happen. Beautiful opening coming through from our purple Chinese player. I don't think I've ever seen this kind of strategy before. He went Spearman into the Barbican. And now Wham racing up this outpost, looking to try and do as much damage as he can, or at least mitigate as much damage as he can. Knight's going to come through, manages to get the charge. Double Scout going to try and hold it out. Vils jump inside, but the outpost fires on the Spearman, immediately jumps all the Vils inside, only loses 2. Not bad at all, and that is going to completely nullify this position right now. And that's going to put purple in an insanely good spot. Villagers manage to make it away. Doesn't lose any of them. He's still got 6 of them. And now Wham's got a problem. Wham has got himself a problem. What an absolute stunning opening we have got to witness here from our purple Chinese player. Something I don't think I've ever seen before. Spearman and Barbican. A new combo, a new Chinese combo coming out right here. And what a blessing it is to watch. Excuse me, sir. That is a lot of villagers that you've got on Stone. What are your intentions with that, Stone? He's surely not looking for a second town center. That's got to be for something more. He's well, sorry about that. I just smashed the mic right there. He's got to be thinking about arrow slits or something on subsequent outposts, and Blacksmith coming up. Now, the key for Wham here is he's got to look for a counter-offensive. I think that's going to be a big factor in this game. Wants to try and make sure that his enemy is under pressure. But remember, you've got the Barbican on top of the enemy, on top of the enemy school of cavalry. So this makes it really difficult for them to get cavalry out. Now, obviously they can. If they really wanted to be cheeky or sneaky about it, you could just put the cavalry into the town center. But then, I mean, the Barbican's still going to be able to fire it down. You can see how much range it's got. But Horseman going to be coming through. Barracks going to get dropped. Wham. I tell you what, Wham. Having some near-death experiences early on in this game. We saw him losing, or rather getting thrown off balance with that house. A little bit of a wild decision to come in that close. I'd be tempted to look for more villagers. There's got to be more villagers out here somewhere, and there they are. Villagers going to get spotted. And our Chinese player is having an absolute blast today. I'm fearful. I'm fearful right now that I've casted a game that is going to get put onto YouTube. There's going to be thousands of people who get to watch this, and this might actually start taking over the ladder. I mean, we've seen that English have been popular, but never would I thought that we would see something like this actually looking this good. And I'll tell you right now, our Chinese player, he's not ranked at the same level that Wham's ranked. In fact, I wouldn't even say he's close to it. He is ranked, if I remember correctly, in the diamonds. Oh my god, he's actually cheesing him. Oh my god, he's doing the thing. This is okay. So for anybody wondering, this is actually banned at the top level. Not when I say banned, it's banned from tournaments. You can't do this in tournaments. But if like as an example, if I'm playing in a game and somebody does this to me, I will call them out. I'll be like, what are you doing? Like, oh gosh. All right. You know, it's interesting because I see a lot of comments for when I point this out, or like stonewalling in the feudal age, that kind of thing. And people are like, Drongo, you know, the devs haven't removed it, so I don't get what the hustle and bustle's about. Like, why are you upset that this is happening? And it's like, okay, have a look at this. Look at the range on that thing, dude. 9 tiles of range. Feudal age, 8 minutes on the back of your base. He's not even going to be able to build this battering ram. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, it's funny. And, to be honest, the reason why I kind of get, like, the reason why I call it out is because for whatever reason, the devs don't want to change it. I don't know why. I don't know. They are steadfast. They do not want to move stone walls to the castle age. They don't want to move the Stonewall Tower to the castle age. It's kind of funny, but I mean, Wham's having trouble right now. It's been a long time since we've seen a Stonewall Tower rush. But just remember, this rush is so powerful that it's banned at the top level. And Wham, one of the best players in the game, going to be going up against a player who, if I remember correctly, is Diamond 3, and he's pulling this off right now. And it's looking insane. I mean, honestly, watching this happen from our purple Chinese player, I'm genuinely impressed. The question is going to be, how does he look to defend this? Because there are inevitably going to be battering rams that come through. Now, remember that the Stonewall Tower's got 180 degrees of coverage. If you get behind it, there's nothing you can do about it. Now, you're not going to be able to siege it down unless you've actually, if I remember correctly, units can siege this building down. it's the wall that they can't siege down. But I'm pretty sure they can siege down the stone wall tower. We'll have to double check that. We'll come back and see. I might be wrong. But the battering ram should be pretty effective against the stone wall tower, though. But obviously, a couple of units back here should be able to help protect that. You used to be able to mount up on top of the wall here, and then if a ram came in, you could throw down torches onto that ram. But I tell you what, this is a tough game for Wham. We'll ride on board with Wham and see how he's doing, as he's got villagers all over the map at the moment. I say all over the map, all over the back of his base. Might be thinking about a second town center here. Indeed, he is. 13 villagers on this. Nice little raid coming through. And indeed, our Green Hill player is looking very, very funny so far in this game. I can't believe we're seeing this right now. First battering ram is down. He could look to apply pressure here, but as we can see, there are plenty of units out for his opponent to defend this position. And I tell you what, I don't think I would have ever expected something like this, but it makes so much sense on a map like Prairie. On a map like Prairie, where there's just the potential... Oh, look at this. Where there's just the potential for you to get hit with those knights, push your enemy off balance, and start taking advantage of what your civ has got to throw down. You know, like, don't play by the rules that are dictated at the top of the ladder. You come, you bring your A game, and you bring a strategy that hasn't been seen in quite some time now. He does actually spot this stone wall going up, but good luck ever trying to counter that. More attacks coming through on the backside. A couple of archers getting thrown in as well, and Wham doing his best to hold on for dear life right now. He's down on military population. He's down on economic population as well. But at least he's got the battering rams, and 2 of the rams are out now. Wham gonna start pushing towards it, and immediately we see our Chinese player just cancel. He says, "I'm not gonna put it up if you're gonna instantly battering ram it down. I'm not gonna allow it." So it continues moving around, and you can see Wham just suffering right now. The consequence of not having those safe resources under your town center, not having all of those resources just snug in your base. You know, you couldn't do this on Dry Arabia. You try and do this on Dry Arabia, you got so many forests that you can back up onto that are nice and safe underneath the town center. There's just no way that you're going to get a Barbican in close enough to deny a forest. Now, speaking of denying, we could potentially see the deny come through right now as the battering rams move towards the Barbican, but there's a lot of melee units here. He's got double scout. He's got plenty of horsemen. Oh my god, he's putting... What is this game right now? He's putting down a town center on the enemy gold vein. He really doesn't want him to get any gold, does he? What is this game right now? Wham is pulling his hair out. He's thinking, what is this? What is happening? Who am I playing against? Who is this guy? Is this a Smurf that I'm playing against? What is going on? How is he able to have... To be honest, it looks like a Smurf. He's honestly got amazing control. Obviously, the strategy that he's using is questionable, but the control is really, really good from this player. Great job as well, just putting on the pressure on those rams. Town center going to come up. What does the town center achieve, though, here? Obviously, it puts down this nice little area. We've got the... Is he just looking to drop tax off here? No, he's just going to start gathering up gold, I guess. All right, fair dues, man. Like, you do you. I'm not going to complain. Second town center going to be coming up for Wham. We got ourselves a game right now. Who's ever seen this before? Have you ever seen 2 town centers next to each other making villages together? You know, often I'll ask mum and dad, I'll be like, hey, guys, how do you make villages? And they say, well, when 2 town centers love one another a lot, baby Drongo, they make a villager. Well, at least that's what I'm going to be telling my son. Anyway, we move forward because there's a bit of a lull in this action-packed early game as the Imperial Academy goes down. And with the Imperial Academy, you know what it is. It's time, baby. Get them out. Get them out. The Jukunu. Get them out loud and proud. It is time. The Jukunu will surely be on the field shortly. All right, well, it's been an exciting early game. At the moment, the blacksmith hasn't researched anything. But with the Jukunu coming through, you would expect that the enemy blacksmith is going to be looking to pick up ranged armor soon. And take a look at this. You've got double archery range coming down in addition to that first one. Town center actually doing a fair bit of work here. Now, how many... I'm pretty sure that's 11 villagers that he's got sitting in the first TC. Nice counterattack on the other side of the map. This is exactly what Wham needs to do. Push his enemy off balance. He's been pushed off balance now. Now he's got to do the same to his enemy. But I'm pretty sure that's 11 idle villagers currently sitting in the TC for Wham. No, it's not. It's 11 military units inside the TC for Wham. So he's doing something magical. We'll switch it over so that you guys can see the income as well. And the question is going to be, where does his opponent go from here? Looks like he might be heading towards this back wood line. Definitely the right call. And a couple of archers going to be moving forward. I'm expecting to see siege engineering coming through if we haven't already seen it come through. Yeah, we haven't seen it come through. +1 on the ranged attack is in, though. And sprinkled emplacement on this tower, this stone wall tower, will be going down. And with that, remember the wall will remain. So it can always just come back around and rebuild this. But it's quite expensive. If I remember, they actually changed the price of this. They increased the price. Yeah, it's 300 stone to build this now. So the wall remains. So they can just come back over here and build that bad boy back up. But look at this. The counter-attack is happening. You want to try and attack me? Well, how about I attack you? And numbers here looking pretty even at this point in time. Villagers going to be going down. You can see worker kills happening for both sides here. We're right on board with Wham as he looks to send a horseman around the backside. A little bit of long-distance gathering. Don't mind if you do. And just so aggressive. So aggressive. Look at the villagers. Villagers losing life quickly. He's managing to take out all the spears here. Once the spears are down, that's going to leave the enemy archers just completely vulnerable. Not to mention the villagers completely vulnerable. More units continuing to come through, and I got to say it right now. There is no way Purple, as a Chinese player, is Diamond 3. I can say that with my hand on my heart. This guy is good. This guy is really good. I don't know who is smurfing who right now, but I got a feeling that this is somebody very good at Age of Empires. I'm thinking like, and the hard part for me is right, like, it's not. Barbican goes down. The thing is, I can't imagine it being like Vortex or Lucifer. But when you see the style that they're playing, it really looks like it. Town center might be going down here. Doesn't have anything to protect these. Could pull the villagers. They're all idle at the moment. He's kiting away. If the town center goes down, it's going to be a huge investment that gets lost. So I would have loved to have seen these vills pulled up to cover. But spears and archers are going to be here, looking to defend. And you can see just how much pressure is being put on by Wham here on the backside, not able to take this back forest. And that's really going to hurt our Chinese player. You can see, when it comes to the strength of this strategy, it's all about just putting your enemy off balance and saying, I'm going to make you're going to be the defender here. I'm not going to be the defender. And it allows you to sort of build up. And now we start to see, it looks like Zhuge are being added in. But yeah, when it comes to this, I would just suspect this is probably the smurf of somebody who maybe is in the Chinese community, and they just don't play by, the tournament rules, that sort of thing. Because once again, I will mention that it is the tournament rules stipulate that you don't play with stone walls, and everybody at the top kind of just accepts that as like the de facto rule set. But obviously, you can play outside of that. All right, well, the numbers here. Going to start building. Wham going to be scaling into the late game with his 2 town centers. Keep that in mind. So it's 2 TCs against 1. But there is Song Dynasty in play. So Song Dynasty going to reduce the time it takes to train a villager from 20 seconds down to 15. But then also consider the fact that our opponent, our French player, Wham, is also reducing the time that it takes to train his own villagers by playing the French. So I think it works out to be 2.2 town centers versus 1.5. That's what it is at the moment. Numbers here not looking the best for Wham. And at the same time, the counterattack comes or continues on. Archer numbers looking really solid here for our Chinese player. And Wham trying his best to hold on, trying to defend. 15 units inside of the town center. I've got no idea what these are because the UI doesn't actually allow us to tell anymore. We used to be able to tell. Now we don't know. Was it just villagers? There's no way it was just villagers. It might have been archers. Is it archers? Oh, he had an archer ball before that. There was 15 units in there for sure. But anyway, the consequence of not having the archery range at home is that, well, there's no Zhuge back here. Looks like the spearmen will go down. That's going to just leave horsemen able to deal with this. Knight going to be coming out. You know, when the knight's out, that's when trouble is brewing. The knight is what you want to avoid. Phil's out here towards that north side. If these guys get exposed, you could be in trouble. And look at this. Wham going to be able to spot this. Throws down an outpost, throws down a mill. And there's knights in position. These guys are going to get caught out. 22 worker kills versus 19, but it's going to be increased significantly here as Wham immediately doesn't respond yet. Now he responds. Okay. Throws down the outpost instantly. And the push happens on the front. A lot of Chukunu in here. We enter into the cinematic modus. We are pushing in, ladies and gentlemen. No battering ram here, though. So whether this push is actually going to stick or not, it's going to be another question. But he's got good numbers here. These are really decent numbers. Looking to try and focus down the knight on the front side. The archer's teeing off, getting free damage there. Manages to kite away. We're right on board. Back with Wham and see how he's doing up on that north side. There are a lot of villagers up there. And villagers, for the moment, yet to really go down or go through that way of the dodo. Get your bingo cards out there. There you go. I'll give it to you nice and early. Barely 20 minutes into this game, and you get it for us. You get it for free. I'll give it to you. Villagers still going down, though. Maybe the best call was just to run those villagers immediately, realizing that your enemy might be better positioned than you to take it out. And look at the amount of damage that's getting done here. Just chasing the vills around with spears. He's like a honey badger right now. He doesn't care. Still, there hasn't been enough, a lot of pressure. I say enough. There hasn't been a lot of pressure on this this west corner, when there definitely feels like there should have been. It felt like that was a bit of an opening that was just somewhat ignored. Archery range does get repaired up, so it should be fine. Counterattack still happening, still successful. And Villagers just going to be going down. He's lost a lot of workers. Oh my lord, he's lost a lot of workers. What happened right now to our Chinese player? He was actually up workers. So he's lost about 10, 15 workers in the last minute or two. A lot of that has been workers over on that north side, but we can hear, still behind this, Spearman just doing work. And look at this with the knight coming around. This is just terrible. And this is what makes Prairie such a nightmare for players like me. You know, with my autism, trying to focus on 17 things at once is very, very difficult. I like to just focus on one thing at once. Yeah, it's not fun. But the production numbers are starting to increase here for the Chinese player. There is the potential that he wins this game still. But there is one way that he wins. And that is through a battering ram timing push with the Chukunu. So the problem that he's got is just he has no access to wood. Or at least it seems that he's got no access to wood. But look at this Chukunu moving out. Slowly sieging down that school of cavalry. Just putting on a bit of damage. Cancels the outpost. Wham looking to recover the gold. He's still got that gold in the back of the base. 3,600 on it. So worst case scenario, he just moves out there and that's exactly what he's going to be doing. Definitely the right call when there's that many Chukunu at the front. Counterattack still coming through. And I'm going to have to walk back my statement earlier about the skill level here of our Chinese player. Maybe not Conqueror 3. Maybe Conqueror 2. That's the difference I'll give you. The reason why is just because if you've just got 2 or 3 spears out here, you shut this down completely, and then you can just take the wood. And he hasn't done that. And now he's sitting on 43 vills, so he's lost a lot of vills out here. And the thing is, he's got the spearmen or the barracks in base, right? Like, so this would have been very easy for him to accomplish, but I guess the other thing to consider is he doesn't really have a lot of wood income. But it's very much a case of the only reason he doesn't have the wood income is because he hasn't been able to secure this. And had he secured it, there you go. All right, but interestingly, he's starting to think about castle. A lot of villagers out here. Once again, the vills here are on food, but they could very much so be on wood. Interesting gold mine position as well. Knights coming through. Another vill going to go down. He's got the granary inside the base. I tell you what, when it comes to opening strategies, this has been an absolute beautiful game. A blitz of a game. But I'm starting to worry at this point. Because where did those resources go? Did he build a market? And he did go onto wood, which is the correct decision. Go onto wood in the middle of the map. Hasn't built the market. He's put horsemen in queue. Interesting. So going into horsemen here. Let's ride on board with Wham and see what he's doing though. Because to me, it feels like Wham can go Castle Age here. I don't think he's under any real threat. If he goes Castle Age, worst case scenario, you've just built yourself another landmark, right? And you just make sure that you put your landmark over here and you're not really going to be risking anything because you're just able to fight or delay your fight until your upgrades come through and then you should be fine. The main issue that you're going to have is just those Chukunu eating through your knights. So I feel like going into knights here is great. As long as you go Royal Institute, hide the Royal Institute, and you'll be okay. The key thing that you want to do is that you need to hide the Royal Institute. Don't let the enemy find the Royal Institute. If they do, then there is the threat that you will get sniped out. I can definitely feel a snipe coming though. To me, I think that the Chinese player realizes that's his only real option here. Has he gone Siege Engineering yet? He hasn't gone yet, but looking for his upgrades. I reckon if he's doing these upgrades, he'll be looking for Siege Engineering shortly. Melee armor not yet through for Wham, but he's got everything else. On the other side, though, we still don't see the ranged armor. It's coming through now. Is he supervising it? He is supervising it. Another 10 seconds. He's actually pushing through with quite intent here. 62 military population. We enter into the cinematic mode as it's time to get it on, he says. Look at the damage that's coming out on those enemy knights. So much damage coming through right here. Jukunu together with the archers. He's just continuing to kite back. But you can see the power. The power of those knights just soaking up so much damage. And meanwhile, the archers are able to do a lot of work behind it. So now we should be able to fight here. Ideally, you'd love to get up on that wall, but with no access anymore, makes it very hard. More Chukunu coming through. He's just going to stand here and fight, which is the correct decision. Just wants to fight against the front line. The Chukunu should be able to win this fight here. The archers, because he's got +1 attack on, or +1 ranged armor here. So now going to be able to push it back. Oh, the knights. There's too many knights. And that's going to swing. That's going to swing it in favor of Wham at this point, and going to shut down the chance of this succeeding almost completely. I don't know where our Chinese player goes from here. It looks like he's just going to tap out and go to the next game. That's probably the best call in this situation. Fellas, I hope you've enjoyed this game. It was an absolutely wild ride. I got a little bit worried there for Wham in the middle. Unfortunately, our Chinese player couldn't pull through. Fellas, go check out Wham. I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.